For years, things have been going up into the sky, but now they're starting to fall.
Oh my God, what is that?
Unidentified objects, strange beams of light, and mysteries no one can explain. These are the most shocking things that have recently fallen from the sky. And no one is ready for what comes next. Late one night, the skies over Portugal lit up in a way no one expected. A bright green meteor blazed across the sky, cutting through the darkness like a glowing streak of fire. People across the region looked up in shock. Some caught it on camera, while others just stood shocked, watching it vanish. It wasn't just the color that made it strange, but the size and speed too. It gave Portugal a sky show no one's forgetting anytime soon. Mysterious Skyball.
There wasn't enough going on. This sky appears to be following, at least literally, and we don't know exactly what's going on.
On a clear, bright afternoon, the skies over Georgia and South Carolina suddenly lit up with a blazing streak that caught everyone off guard. It wasn't a plane or fireworks. This was something else. Over 100 people reported witnessing a glowing fireball shooting across the sky before vanishing from sight. The American Meteor Society confirmed it was likely a meteor entering Earth's atmosphere, but the brightness and speed left many people wondering if there was more to the story. Whatever it was, the skies definitely put on a show that day, one that still has folks looking up, just in case. Skybeam. While casually filming the view from the top of a building in Chile, a man ended up capturing something shocking out of nowhere. A bright laser-like beam shot down from the sky and struck the yard of a nearby house. Thankfully, no major damage was reported, but the internet quickly lit up with theories. Some believed it was a direct alien strike, targeting something specific, while others thought something from space might have crashed. LA lights. Ever looked up and felt like something from another world was about to fall? That's exactly what happened in Los Angeles, when a tourist recorded several glowing objects flying at full speed, almost like they were about to crash.
Oh my God, what is that?
The light from them was so bright, it felt like something huge was arriving straight from outer space. But just as fast as they appeared, the glowing objects vanished. Whatever they were, they didn't want to stay long, and clearly didn't want to be found. Silent Watcher.
That thing's like scanning us and uploading us. It's just hovering.
Late one night in Virginia, a local spotted two glowing red objects hovering in the sky. At first, they seemed like drones, but something wasn't right. The longer they hovered, the clearer it became. These were UFOs, no doubt about it.
You sure, bro? That is a spaceship.
They hovered silently, almost like they were watching the city from afar. The sight lasted a few minutes. Then, without warning, both objects vanished into the night sky like they were never there. Maybe someone or something is keeping an eye on us.
Dude, I've never in my life seen anything do what it's doing.
Mysterious light.
Oh my God, the cops are down there saying go back to your house, bro.
What if the sky showed you something you couldn't explain? That's what happened in Dallas, Texas, where locals noticed something strange in the sky that left them uneasy.
What the is this shit, bro? What the is this shit?
A strange blue light was shining down from above, and it looked like some mysterious flying object, with light beaming from it. Some even believed it could be an abduction in progress, but there were no reports to confirm that. The strange light stayed in the sky for quite a while, and no one had any idea what it really was.
The cops are down here saying we have to go back to our houses because they don't want us to film it.
Trail of doubt.
Oh, you know why it's so good? It's because sunset. It's getting the sun up there.
If aliens ever visited California, this is exactly what it might look like. One evening, the skies over California lit up with a glowing trail that had people pulling out their phones in shock. A strange, bright shape streaked across the sky, too slow for a shooting star and way too fast for a plane.
Yeah, it's because it's up in the sun.
It looked like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, but this time it had a real explanation. A reused SpaceX Falcon 9 rocket launching satellites into orbit. Maybe it was just a launch, or maybe it was the perfect cover for something else. Mysterious flash. Last year, a massive, glowing light suddenly appeared in the Dubai sky, moving fast like a mysterious object was rushing past. The light was extremely bright, and wherever it passed, a glowing effect stayed in the sky for a while. Some believed it was a rocket, maybe a test flight, but others were sure it had nothing to do with science, maybe something from space, or even something not meant for us to see. Cloud mystery. Last year, in a town in China, a strange phenomenon appeared in the sky. A cloud appeared that turned completely red, making it look like some huge, strange spaceship was hidden inside. Red light was visibly shining from within the cloud. For the locals, it felt like the end of the world. The dark cloud, the red light, and the possibility of a spaceship made it all feel far from ordinary. Luckily, it didn't last long, but who knows? It might come back again. Dark power. If you watch this closely, it really looks like something unusual was happening in the sky over Mexico. Nothing natural at all. It seemed like dark powers were at work. The clouds were shaped in a strange, unexplainable way. Luckily, it didn't last long, and there was no impact on the locals. But what exactly was it? That remains a mystery. Superhuman. What you're about to see might look like a scene from a sci-fi movie, but it's real. Back in 2014, over the skies of Romania, a strange figure suddenly appeared in the clouds. What made it even more bizarre? It looked like the figure was controlling the lightning itself. Onlookers were stunned. It wasn't just a shape, it seemed to be in motion, almost like it was fighting an invisible force or drawing power from nature. Them day, no one has figured out what exactly happened up there, or who or what that figure was. Mysterious rain. In early May, people in Texas and Louisiana began noticing something truly strange. The rainwater wasn't clear. It had a bluish tint. Campers recorded it hitting tarps and puddles glowing blue in the light. But that wasn't the only weird part.
In Texas, and it's been raining, and the water that's coming out of the sky is blue. And it's not this tarp, because it's happening on this tarp too. Look at that. This is crazy. In Texas?
In some areas, jelly-like translucent blobs also fell from the sky. These blobs landed on cars, homes, and open fields. They weren't like anything natural people had seen before. Sticky, soft, and out of place. Whatever this was, it didn't feel random. And maybe, just maybe, it was only the beginning of something bigger. Sky explosion. This might look like something unnatural falling from the sky, but hold on, it's not what it seems. What you're seeing is actually a cloud burst. Yes, if this is your first time watching it, you'd definitely be shocked. But this is exactly how a cloud burst behaves. Sudden, intense, and dramatic. It's a real weather event that can happen when too much moisture gathers in one spot. Nature really knows how to make an entrance. Ringed sky. Now this one might puzzle many of you because back in 2016, something very strange happened in the skies of Israel. Right after the funeral of Shimon Peres, Israel's 9th president, a mysterious ring-shaped cloud formed over Jerusalem. It wasn't an ordinary weather event. The cloud hovered perfectly still, as if marking the space below it. But what really shocked people was the sound many claimed to hear trumpet-like noises coming from within the ring.
Wow, massive.
For a few moments, it felt like nature itself was delivering a sign. Was it a coincidence or something meant to be heard? Silent visitor. In a rural part of Mexico, a local noticed something strange in the sky. At first, it blended in, but when he looked closely, it was clear a giant UFO was hovering silently, as if observing the entire area. What gave it away were the lights slowly pulsing from within. Its size wasn't anything like a typical UFO. This thing was enormous. It stayed there for some time, then vanished like it was never there. Moments like this make you wonder what else is up there, just watching. Mysterious sightings. At first glance, this thing looked like a dark, creepy shape floating high above something you'd expect in a sci-fi horror scene. But hold on a sec. It wasn't a UFO or anything supernatural. It was just a plane flying at a very high altitude. The twist? Instead of the usual white vapor trail, it was releasing thick black smoke, which gave the whole scene a scary twist. 7 Sun. What if the sky suddenly seemed to be showing you a hidden side of nature? In Chengdu, China, locals were stunned when they saw not 1, but 7 suns hanging in the sky. Each glowing sphere seemed to radiate with its own light, creating a breathtaking and eerie scene. Many believed it was a sign of something extraordinary, but the reality was much simpler. The phenomenon was actually an optical illusion caused by sunlight passing through the layered glass of a hospital window, reflecting multiple virtual suns. The illusion lasted only a minute, but it felt like something much larger was unfolding. Strange ring light. In the middle of the night, a camper saw something strange in the sky. A bright light slowly turned into a huge circular ring, spinning silently above. Around it, green and blue light glowed, but the ring itself had no solid shape, just pure light, as if it didn't belong to this world at all. It stayed in the sky for a short while, moving slowly, before vanishing without a trace. Russian secret. A strange video from an unknown source left viewers completely puzzled. It shows Russian soldiers marching through a dense forest, but why they were there becomes clear just moments later. A huge UFO can be seen nearby. It looked as if it had crash-landed. The video looks old, adding even more mystery to the scene. Some believe it was a real UFO crash that was quietly covered up, while others think the Russian government may have summoned something not from Earth. Lightning cloud. A video shared from an unknown source near Roswell has left viewers puzzled. The footage clearly shows something unusual in the clouds. Strange, eerie lights emanating from within a huge cloud. As it moves, the lights pulse and flicker, creating a scary atmosphere. Some viewers speculate that this could be the result of a UFO crash, while others believe it might be tied to some sort of experiment happening near Roswell. Mystery rock.
An Ohio man says it fell from the sky and crashed onto his shoulder. Now he's showing off his injury and his far-out fine.
You won't believe what hit this man's shoulder. In Quaker City, Ohio, Pat was in his yard when a strange black rock suddenly dropped from the sky and smacked him right on the shoulder. At first, he thought someone threw it.
Know what it was. I thought maybe somebody's pulling a prank on me and threw something.
But then he heard a whistling sound just before impact.
Hit me right here. I heard it. It was like a whistling noise, and it thumped my shoulder and landed in my swimming.
The rock bounced into his pool, and when he picked it up, it was still hot. Pat believes it came from space. Geologists haven't confirmed anything yet, but if it didn't come from Earth, what exactly fell from the sky?
Kind of a strange thing that happens to strange people.
Feather cloud.
Looks like a large feather in the sky above my house.
It was a bright, sunny day in Texas when a local spotted something strange floating high above. Hanging in the sky was a giant shape that looked just like a feather, so clear and detailed, it didn't even seem possible to doubt it. Some say the sky has its own way of sending messages, and this might just be one of those moments. Was it a sign, a rare cloud shape, or something else? You decide.
Look at that.
Heavenly sign. Right after a peaceful church mass in Naga City, Philippines, something appeared in the sky that left people stunned. A glowing cloud formation shaped like a tall figure with outstretched arms slowly formed above the crowd. From the ground, it looked almost like an angel. The timing made it feel deeply meaningful. Some called it a blessing. Others were just amazed by how perfect the shape looked. It didn't move. It didn't fade right away. It stayed there long enough for people to really take it in. Whatever it was, that moment felt bigger than just clouds and light. Devil appeared. During a strange shift in the clouds, something terrifying appeared in the sky. A giant face formed clear, sharp, and far too real. This wasn't a random illusion. It looked like an actual devil face staring down from above. Many believed it was a warning, a sign that something bad was about to happen. The sky returned to normal soon after, but that image stayed in everyone's mind. If the sky ever looks back at you like that, I don't blame anyone for expecting the worst. Sky's puzzle. This one's from Peru, where a local saw something in the sky that puzzled him. A strange glowing object was moving, but the real mystery came from the ring of light ahead of it. No one could figure out what it was. Was it something from outer space, or was it just an unexplained phenomenon? Whatever it was, it definitely didn't look like anything normal. The whole sight was enough to make anyone wonder if something from beyond was watching us. Red cloud. A strange sight appeared in the skies above Turkey, a massive red cloud shaped like a UFO. It was huge, round, and glowing. What made it even more suspicious was that the rest of the clouds were normal, only this one looked different. That's why many people refused to believe it was just a cloud. Some were sure that something was hiding inside, watching from above. Then, just as suddenly as it appeared, it vanished, leaving behind nothing but mystery. Cloudy Angel. While visiting Peru, a tourist captured something in the sky that turned an ordinary trip into something unforgettable. At first, they thought it was just a trick of the eyes, but the more they looked, the clearer it became a perfect cloud formation that resembled an angel with outstretched wings. The shape was peaceful, still, and surprisingly detailed, floating above the landscape like it had a message to deliver. It wasn't just a cloud, it was a moment of pure wonder. Secret Watcher. This video was from Ontario, Canada, where a local exploring the woods noticed something unusual in the sky. A strange orb-like object quietly hovering above. It was small and subtle, going unnoticed by most people because it kept vanishing every few seconds. It looked like the object was secretly observing the entire area. But the moment the local tried to focus on it, it disappeared completely, as if it had never been there at all. Maybe we just don't realize how much strange stuff is happening around us. Floating City.
We can't verify if the video is real or not, but we have seen things like this before.
Back in 2015, people in parts of China, like Foshan and Jiangxi, looked up and saw something unbelievable. A full city floating above the clouds. Tall buildings, a skyline, all suspended in the sky. Many thought it was a hologram or something from another world, but experts later explained it as a Fata Morgana.
This is a type of superior mirage called a Fata Morgana.
A rare optical illusion caused by temperature layers bending light. The buildings were real, just far away and distorted. Still, for those who witnessed it, it felt like the sky opened a window to another place, just for a moment. And that moment stayed with them. Cloud walker. Have you ever seen someone walking on clouds? Sounds strange, right? But that's exactly what happened in Mexico. A giant, dark humanoid figure was seen walking across the sky, above the clouds. It wasn't floating or flying. It looked like it belonged there, almost as if the clouds were its home. The figure resembled something straight out of a fairy tale, where mysterious beings live above the world. Was it real or just an illusion? No one knows for sure. Skydrop Mystery. A group of fishermen in Indonesia spotted something strange falling from the sky straight into the sea. It was a dark, long object and clearly not anything they'd seen before. The object crashed into the water far from their boat, so they couldn't go check it up close. There was no reason something like that should be dropping from the sky. It just appeared out of nowhere, vanished beneath the waves, and became a mystery. Creepy rain. It looked like something straight out of a nightmare whiteworm, like creatures falling from the sky in Chhapra, Bihar. Locals were stunned. Some even ran for cover, thinking it was some kind of strange disaster. Footage shows the streets quickly covered in what seemed like worms, forcing shopkeepers to shut down temporarily. But soon after, experts stepped in and revealed the truth. These weren't worms at all. They were catkins, soft, fluffy parts of poplar trees carried by strong winds. It just happened to look weird and a little creepy. Spider rain. People in a small Brazilian town were left stunned when they looked up and saw spiders falling from the sky. Yes, actual spiders. Dozens of them were hanging from webs, floating in the air. No one knew what was happening. Later, scientists explained it as a rare event called ballooning, where spiders use their silk to travel with the wind. But for the people who saw it live, this wasn't science. It was more like a real-life nightmare. Feather rain. This woman was out camping near the woods, but the morning turned into something she couldn't explain. All over the ground, there were bird feathers, hundreds of them, as if it had rained feathers overnight. And this wasn't from one bird. There were way too many, scattered far and wide. She hadn't heard a sound during the night, no signs of struggle, no noise to wake her. So what happened out there in the dark? No one knows. But one thing was certain, this was no ordinary night in the woods. Strange rain. One half soaked, the other bone dry. How does that even happen? In Pagadian City, Philippines, residents were left scratching their heads when heavy rain fell on just one side of the street, while the other stayed completely untouched. Junel Garcia saw it all from his doorstep. He rushed inside thinking the rain would follow, but it never did. For nearly half an hour, it just poured in a straight line like nature hit pause halfway through. Locals whispered about old folklore, claiming a mythical creature's wedding might be behind the bizarre weather. But scientists call it a rain shadow, a rare effect where air currents block rain from reaching certain areas. Fish rain. In a strange twist of nature, the skies over Yasuj, Iran, unleashed more than just rain. During a heavy downpour, locals were stunned to see fish falling from the sky, still wriggling as they hit the ground. Videos of the bizarre scene quickly spread online, capturing this unbelievable phenomenon. Scientists believe a water spout of a tornado over water caused the fish to be sucked up from nearby bodies of water and dropped back to Earth. Though rare, this odd event has been recorded in other parts of the world as well. Sky illusion. If this video makes you feel like some dark figure just appeared, it's not what you think. What you're actually seeing is a massive flock of birds flying together in perfect sync. The way they move creates different shapes in the sky, and for a moment, it truly looks like some huge otherworldly creature has appeared. Their movements are so smooth and well-timed, it's easy to mistake them for something not from this world. Birds storm.
You may have seen that dramatic video of hundreds of birds literally falling from the sky into a neighborhood. What on earth was going on?
The sky over Mexico suddenly turned strange as hundreds of black birds came crashing down all at once. It looked like the clouds had dropped a swarm of feathers straight to the ground. Some birds managed to take flight again, but many were left scattered and still. Locals were stunned it didn't look natural at all. Later, experts suggested the birds were fleeing a predator, possibly a hawk, causing the group to dive in panic. But even with that theory, the scene felt too bizarre, too sudden. Something about it just didn't sit right with those who witnessed it. Fallen poles. Not every mess on the road is made by cars. Some feel like a battle just ended. One morning in Vegas, Kentucky, locals were shocked to see something strange right outside their homes. Electric poles had fallen across the road, not just one or two, but almost a dozen.
Every last one of the light poles, the electricity poles are down. This goes for miles. We ain't got no power. I don't know what the hell is going on.
These poles were solid and well positioned, not the type to topple over without a serious cause. It didn't look like storm damage or poor setup. In fact, the entire scene felt like something powerful had passed through during the night, maybe even something beyond normal explanation. Spinning mystery. As people enjoyed a calm evening under a beautiful rainbow, something strange began to form beside it. A giant glowing orb slowly appeared out of nowhere, spinning in place like it was about to open a portal. Locals were stunned. No one could explain how it formed or what it meant. It wasn't part of the rainbow, and it definitely wasn't normal weather. The strange sphere just floated there, glowing and spinning, before disappearing just as suddenly as it had come. It looked peaceful, but it felt like the sky was hiding something. Bubble cloud.
This is
crazy.
Over Regina in 2012, right after a powerful storm, the sky lit up with one of the rarest cloud formations, mammotus clouds. These cotton ball-like shapes covered the sky, forming a dramatic and slightly eerie ceiling. Locals stared up, mesmerized and confused, watching as these clouds hung heavy and still. What made it more mysterious was how they vanished after 20 minutes, as if the sky never wanted anyone to look for too long. Sometimes nature paints the perfect illusion and leaves without explanation. Heavenly visitor. A video shared from an unknown source has left many viewers puzzled. A huge figure can be seen coming down from the clouds, with a body that looks human-like, complete with massive wings. Some believed it was a mysterious human being, while others were convinced that it was an angel. Glowing ring. A normal sunny day suddenly turned into something out of a sci-fi scene when locals were left stunned by a strange glowing ring in the sky. It appeared out of nowhere and hovered silently, almost like some kind of portal was about to open. But nothing came through. No sound, no movement, just the glowing ring hanging mysteriously. Maybe there was some kind of glitch in outer space that caused this glowing ring to suddenly show up here. Little cloud. Ever thought you'd see a cloud come down to Earth? Well, that's exactly what happened in Malaysia. While workers were on shift, they witnessed something truly unbelievable, a cloud slowly descending from the sky. At first, they couldn't believe their eyes, but as it neared the ground, they realized it was real. Filled with excitement, they rushed over and found themselves standing beside it, able to touch it. This wasn't mist or fog. It was an actual cloud, now right in front of them. It felt like something out of a dream, a piece of the sky brought down to Earth. Dubai Sky Surprise.
Look up into the top. My God. Oh, what is that?
2 moons in the sky? Sounds impossible, right? But back in 2021, something just like that happened in Dubai. People were shocked when they saw 2 moons floating in the sky. Some thought it was real, maybe even a sign from space. But the truth was a bit different. It was actually a smart projection set up by the UAE government. They used 2 huge cranes and a giant screen to show Mars's 2 moons, Phobos and Deimos, in the sky. It was all part of a celebration for their Mars mission called the Hope Probe. It wasn't real, but still felt like a peek into the future. Glowing object.
Oh my God, look at that.
A young kid in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado witnessed something truly bizarre high in the sky. A glowing ring-shaped object appeared, just hovering in one spot, almost like a portal opening. The strange object stayed there for a while before disappearing. Why was it there, especially so close to the mountains? The mystery remains, and no one has been able to explain what it was.
What is that? No, take a picture.
And now, let's move on to the subscribers pick. In a remote Russian province, a local recorded an astonishing sight. A massive UFO soaring through the sky, engulfed in flames. The enormous object, leaving fiery trails behind it, created an unforgettable spectacle. With no clear explanation, the bizarre event captivated those who witnessed it. Its size and intense glow made it stand out as something extraordinary, unlike any known phenomenon. The fiery object disappeared as mysteriously as it appeared, leaving behind a trail of speculation. This strange encounter remains one of the most intriguing UFO sightings, adding another chapter to the world's unexplained mysteries.